Hi there, today we're going to make a clay owl. This will be a 2-class project. Today you are going to need a bag with your name on it, a piece of clay, a stylus, and a rolling pin eventually. The first thing you want to do when you get back to your table spot is you are going to tear off a little bit of this clay. We need to save this for the eyes of our owl. So I'm just going to rip off a piece sort of like the size of, I don't know, what is this the size of? A large grape? That'd be a really big grape. Cherry tomato? Something like that. Put that off to the side. And with the rest of your clay, make a sphere or a ball. So I'm going to squish it in my hands, cup your hands to make it round, and then you can start rolling it. Some people like to roll it on the table. I like to roll it in my hands because I feel like I have more control. If there's some cracks on your clay, smooth them out with your finger. Your finger acts like an eraser. When you have a nice sphere, set it on your bag. Then you will take your rolling pin, and at this point you want to stand up. Whenever we're rolling clay, we want to stand up so we can get above it more. Now, the first thing we're going to do is push the rolling pin down onto the ball of clay, like that. Then I'm going to start wiggling it back and forth. I'm not pressing as hard as I can. I'm doing it gently at first. No need to show our friends how strong we are. I'm just rolling my hands back and forth. You might have this happen. That's just kind of some old clay coming off of the rolling pin. Not a big deal. Now, I want to make sure that I don't roll it too thin. So here's when you stop. You need to measure with your finger. It should be about the width of your finger. So I'm going to peel it off my bag here. That's why we do it on our bag so it doesn't get stuck to the table. So it should be about the same thickness as your finger. Now you might have these cracks along the side. Again, your finger acts like an eraser, so take some time while you're waiting for the next directions and smooth out the cracks. This oval, I'm going to take the top of my oval and I'm going to fold it down to about here. Press it down. This is going to be the head of my owl and the body of my owl. Take some time, smooth out the cracks. Now it doesn't quite look like an owl yet, so let's add some details that will help. A detail would be features of an owl or a bird. So the first thing I'm going to do is a beak. I'm going to make my fingers look like a backwards L. I'm going to put my finger on one side of the head, my thumb on the other, and I'm going to slide them down to the middle and pinch the clay. Here's my beak. Smooth it out. You can form it a little more. If you didn't get enough clay, do it again. Slide it down. Smooth out the cracks. Make a great horned owl. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently pick up my owl and I'm going to pinch the corners right here to make them look kind of like ears, even though they're not really ears. I'm going to take my 3 fingers and I'm going to gently start kind of pulling the corner up so it becomes longer. I'm doing this very gently. Again, we don't want it to get too thin, otherwise it will break when it dries. This is what not to do. Don't take just 2 of your fingers and then pinch. That is going to come right off when your clay dries. So we need to be gentle. If you accidentally do that, no worries. It's fixable. I'm going to squish it back in, and I'm going to try that a little more gentle this time. Gently pull the corner. Fix any cracks that happen. There's our other tuft of feathers. All right, next we're going to use this extra chunk of clay that we tore off, and I'm going to make this into the eyeballs. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to tear it in 2 because I want 2 eyeballs. Now I'm going to take these and I'm going to roll them into spheres or ball shapes. Owls have very large eyes, so they're going to look about like this. Now, if you think that's too big, you can also take off some, but I like when the owl has big eyes. I think it looks kind of cool. So I'm going to leave them that big. Now, to attach clay to clay, we cannot put smooth clay to smooth clay because when it dries, it will break right off. What we need to do is take our stylus and we need to score the clay. Scoring the clay is when you take the stylus and scratch it. Scratch to attach. Now, my goal is to make these little clay boogers. I like to call them clay boogers because then you will remember. Now, I can't just make clay boogers on one of the things. I need to make clay boogers on what I'm going to attach it to as well. So I'm going to score the clay, scratch it, make those clay boogers where I want the eye to go. The clay boogers are going to act like Velcro. Now I'm going to squish the boogers together. Let's do it on the other one. Scratch, score. We got some good boogers. Put them together, press it down. Now I'm going to make sure these are attached really well, so I'm going to take my hand and gently press them. They'll become more like circles, really big eyes. Nice. I want to make them look a little more like eyeballs now. So I'm going to take my stylus and I'm going to push it into the eyeball. I know it seems mean, but it'll make a pupil. Now I'm going to wiggle it around, not moving the tip, just the end. And there's a pupil. Poke it, wiggle it around, and there we go. Now this will probably be all the time we have today, so here's how you're going to package your owl. We're going to pick it up. You're going to slide it sideways into your bag, all the way to the bottom. And you do not need to zip it. All you need to do is wrap it up like a burrito. So I'm going to take it and wrap this around and around so my owl is in there. And then your teacher will come collect it, or you will put it in a box wherever they tell you to. Welcome back to day 2 of making our owl. Today you'll just need your bag with your clay owl that you started last time in it, and a stylus. So when you get it back to your seat, you're going to unravel it, unroll it, open it up, carefully slide your owl out. It might feel stuck in there for a little bit. That's okay. Just gently take it out, flatten your bag, put it on top of your bag. Now, if anything got kind of squished in there, no worries. All you have to do is fix it. Clay is very fixable. It might have some water on it, condensation from the bag. That's when the water tries to evaporate out of the clay and it gets stuck in the bag. No worries, just smooth it in. So today we're going to add some more details to our owl. If we didn't have a chance last time to do this, what we're going to be doing is creating pupils on the eyes. So how I did that was I stuck the stylus in that ball that we made for the eye, and I wiggled the end around. And I did that to this one as well. Now I'm going to put some other details on my owl to make it look more like an owl. So first I want to make this look more like a beak. I'm going to take my stylus and I'm going to draw kind of a rainbow line from one side to the other side. I'm also going to put two little dots. Dot, dot. Now when you're drawing with your stylus, do not press very hard. It could go all the way through the clay, so I'm being very gentle. Next I'm going to draw some wings. I'm going to start up here next to the head, and I'm going to draw a curved line down. I'm going to do that on the other side. Curved line down. Now, I want to add I want to make my owl more unique. So I'm going to do a pattern of lines on the wing. You probably brainstormed some lines before, but lines could be straight, wavy, zigzag, kind of scalloped, loop-de-loop, broken, dotted, lots of options to make your owl unique. I'm going to choose a straight line and maybe a dotted line. So I'm going to put some dots in there, and I'm going to do a pattern all the way down. Now whatever I put on this wing, I'm going to put on the other wing. I want my wings to be symmetrical, the same. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. Dotted, straight, dotted, straight. This will add a little interest to my owl and make it unique. Now I'm going to choose one shape for the belly. I think I'm just going to do an oval. You could do any shape. Square, circle, heart, rectangle, anything you can think of. You could draw feet if you want. And there are two really important things that we need to add to our owl to make it easier to hang and so we know whose it is. So first, I'm going to take my stylus and I'm actually going to poke a hole all the way through. This will make it easier to hang. So right between the eyes, I'm going to push my stylus so it goes all the way through to the other side. I know, it seems mean, but this will make it easier to hang up. On the back, kind of smooth out, but make sure you can still see through that hole. Now while we're back here, I would like you to write your name and class code on the owl. Now when you're writing, again, don't press too hard because you can go right through the clay. I'm going to write my name starting way over here so I know I have enough room. If you have a really long name, you could also turn your owl this way and write it this way. And then you're going to write your class code down here. So 1, A, or M. And now we are done with our owl.